Hello my beautiful fragrance family, Dustin here, fragrance fan. Go ahead and do me a solid and click that like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification, and I'm just going to keep on giving you guys these budget-friendly fragrance reviews, that $40-ish and $100 range. Most of these are way less than that, and a good number of these you can find at your local rack stores, and I finally found some at my local rack stores. It's about time. Some of the little clone fragrances and stuff, because they've been dry lately, but I finally scored some, and I want to go ahead and do what I think I'm qualified of doing, a full review on Hunter Noir. I might be jumping the gun a little bit, but I have wore this thing straight for about 48 hours now, so I think it might be pretty accurate. So this, from what I understand, is made by a fragrance company called Prive. Has that same sticker on the bottom as Milestone, Camara, Murata, that atomizer, which leads me to believe that it is all joined together. I don't know, but regardless, I wasn't even gonna grab this thing because the bottle was weird looking. I was like, oh, it's just another one of those like whatever fragrances. Got a whiff of that, or got a glimpse of that atomizer, got a whiff of the spray, and I knew I just needed to have this thing. Basically, what this thing smells like overall is a juicy, fruity, citrusy, spicy fragrance up top. That's what you're gonna get. Sweet, fruity, spicy. There's like bergamot and pineapple and green apple and pink pepper up top, and that's all pretty accurate. In the mid, you get some of the florals. There's gonna be like florals and patchouli. There's like jasmine and patchouli in the mid of this thing. In the base, it's more like white musk and some like leather, oak moss, that kind of thing. And it's got a sense of freshness right up at the get. It's fresh, juicy, fruity, sweet, peppery, spicy more than peppery up at the top. And then it's the dry down that it gets a little bit more, almost like a violet leaf kind of a scent profile, like that same kind of thing, the same kind of violet leaf that's used in like Taxco. Is basically what I'm picking up in this thing, but there's no violet leaf from what I can understand listed anywhere, but to me it kind of has that kind of a vibe. So if you're not into like a violet leaf smelling fragrance, even though this doesn't have any listed, then you might not like this because it's kind of structured around that kind of a scent profile in some kind of way, even though it doesn't have that in there. This is going to be good for most of the year, I would say. I don't think it's going to be good for like the gym or for those like really hot environments, but other than that, this thing is pretty versatile. It's also it's not loud is one thing. It lasted a decent amount of time on my skin as far as like a skin scent. The projection from what I could tell was very minimal, and spraying it on my clothes didn't make it last any longer or anything like that. But when I spray it on my hand, that thing hangs out on there for hours, but it just doesn't radiate very far off of my skin. I would really have to be doing some moving around, or the wind would have to hit me just in the right way, and then I could catch smells of it when I thought like, hey, this thing must be gone, and I could smell it and then reapply, and it didn't make much of a difference. So I'm either going nose blind, which I don't think that I am. I think that it's just a weak projector while having a fairly solid longevity. And it's kind of rare in fragrances, but I think in this case, this is one of those ones that does that. It's eau de parfum concentration. Typically, eau de toilettes do project a little bit more because they have more perfumeous alcohol in it. But this one is substantially weaker than most, in my experience, as far as projection. But longevity ain't too bad, so I can't knock it too much for that. The scent profile on this thing is great. I really like the scent profile on this. And I think that I would feel it's a little bit more mature than it is youthful. Not by much, but a little bit more mature. And saying night on there is pretty appropriate because it is a little bit more kind of a mysterious kind of fragrance. But it'll work in the day because it's so light, it's so fresh up top, but having the heavier notes like your leather and oak moss and stuff like that in there, giving it some kind of dark, mysterious nuance that helps it, I guess, be more versatile. If this thing was loud, then I wouldn't say that this would be a good daytime fragrance, but since it's so soft, I guess it works pretty good. So, like I said, it's juicy, sweet, spicy up in the very top. And that's mostly what you're going to get for like the first 30 minutes. And then it comes down into like the leather, oak moss, jasmine type of thing. Starts coming out a little more patchouli. A lot of patchouli. There's a lot of patchouli in this, by the way. I don't know why I keep forgetting to say that, but this thing has a lot of patchouli in it. So if you don't like patchouli, then you probably won't like this either, because it's fairly significant in here. But yeah, it's a good smelling fragrance, and I'll give it a 6.5. I really want to give it a 7 out of 10, but I can't because the projection is so low. So I give it a 6.5 out of 10. Not necessarily one you need to run out and buy, but it is right on that level of needing to run out and buy this thing. So it's a good smelling fragrance, and yeah, that's my final thoughts on Hunter Night by Prive. With that, I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Take care of yourself always, and until next time.